Alright lads, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be taking a look at the most recent scandal, I guess you could call it that, that's going on in War Thunder at the minute, and that is the Battle Pass. So we used to have 4 vehicles, I believe. I think we used to have a premium and 3 Tetri vehicles. I could be wrong, but we definitely used to have at least 3. But in this new Battle Pass that's starting, it starts today, I believe. The day of recording is the 24th. I'm pretty sure it starts, 24th of July, sorry. So basically, these are the main rewards. The main reward is going to be the Sholef, which we'll take a look at in-game a bit later on. We also have the PBM-5A Mariner. This is a rank 3 torpedo bomber, so already quite niche. It's an American bomber, so it's going to fall apart as soon as it gets hit by a single 20mm. And it's a torpedo bomber, which no one really plays naval at the minute. Speaking of naval, when we used to get a premium naval ship, usually a coastal vessel, instead now we're getting a crate with one of 3 ships that previously used to be in the Battle Pass. Or, excuse me, one of 4 ships that used to be in the previous Battle Pass seasons. So as you can imagine, people are pretty pissed off with this. If we go down to the comment section, we're down from 4 awards to 2. From Solo, Wing, Makarov, I guess I was right about just having 4. People are pretty annoyed that it's just the Battle Pass seems to be getting worse and worse over the, well, every time they have a new one. You get some cool decorations. You get the cursed, is it the XM8 prototype type thing? I don't really know. You also get what looks to be like a laser designator and a, looks something like a David Crockett, but I don't think it, oh, it is a David Crockett actually. So it's just really, really dumb stuff. I'm telling you now, I'm not really going to be grinding out this event, to be honest. The one redeeming factor about this is that it is a premium, which we're going to take a look at right now. So this is the Sholef V1. Now, the people who are familiar with the obscure Israeli weapon programs, there is a Sholef V2. Now, if my research is correct, this is basically a 155mm gun, which is 39 calibers long. So it's quite short, actually, for a howitzer. It's not going to have the best muzzle velocity, as I'll show you in-game later on. Now, the V2 version was an L55 caliber, which would be very, very powerful, similar to something like a Vidar. It is a long barrel or a high caliber, meaning that you have to have a lot of propellant. Basically, the longer the gun barrel, the more propellant you can burn, and it gives you a better muzzle velocity. So the Sholef V1 being a 155 L39, it doesn't have a great muzzle velocity. It's kind of like a KV2, similar. It's like a derp gun, basically. But anyway, this does get 3 types of ammunition, as I'll show you in game. So if you come onto the cursed website ever, Reddit, which I absolutely hate, you can find a link to let you test drive this. So you basically have to log into the War Thunder wiki. If you click this and it doesn't do anything, or it gives you this, just make sure to log out of the wiki and then log back in. And it should, obviously have War Thunder open while you're doing it, and it should bring you basically onto a test drive of the Sholef V1. So as you can see, this is the Sholef. It is a rank 4 battle rating 7.3 self-propelled gun, obviously in the Israeli tech tree. Now, first thing to mention, this does have the hull of a Merkava Mark 1, I believe, so it is going to be pretty survivable, at least if your enemy are retarded enough to shoot you in the hull. As you can see, we have 30mm of structural steel with a whopping 5mm of high hardness rolled armor on top of that. So about equivalent of 40mm. So BTR 80As are going to rip you to shreds. The BMP-1, you can get a full up tier to 8.3 and face the BMP-2, which is going to basically diddle you like a certain pop star who has initials at MJ. It's not going to be particularly survivable. As you can see, we've got a shitload of ammunition basically everywhere in the fighting compartment. I'm not sure if shells actually explode. I guess they should because it's high explosive. But you do have the powder charges as well, literally right behind the loader. So yeah, anyone that shoots you here is just going to insta-kill you because it's just hitting the ammunition, basically. Another thing to mention is the ammunition. We do get the god-awful American M107. This isn't the best, to be honest. You do get the M401 proximity fused, or basically radio fusing. So you could use this as a, well, you could use it as a makeshift air defense weapon. It does have 12 kilos of TNT. So it is going to have quite a large blast effect. You also have the standard M104 as well. Again, 12 kilograms of TNT is certainly nothing to scoff at, but it's the muzzle velocity that is going to be an issue. As you can see, it is 562 meters per second, which is pretty low for this type of vehicle. Also, bear in mind that we don't have any sort of range-finding equipment here, so we don't even have, well, we don't have a laser rangefinder. We don't even have the old type of rangefinder, which the name escapes me. It's basically like the old battleships coincidence rangefinder. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. We don't even have any of that. And bear in mind that the Vidar is battle rating 8.0, so 0.7 battle ratings higher, with a faster autoloader, a faster hull, 3rd gen thermals, laser rangefinder, better ammunition. So yeah, this is pretty gimped. I wouldn't be surprised if this went down in battle rating. I'm guessing the reason it's 7.3 at the minute is because it's got a McCarver hull, and Gaijin somehow are worried that people aren't going to be able to kill it, when you can literally just shoot it here and the entire tank roleplays a Soviet tank in Ukraine. Another thing to mention is that the battle rating of 7.3, it is going to give it a decent kind of lineup. It's going to be able to go with the shot, the Magak 1 and 2s. Neither of these vehicles are pretty good though. The shot's alright, but it's still using the early APGS, so it is a solid tungsten. It's not an alloy, so it has really bad angled penetration, and it's got pretty bad post-pen damage overall. Like if it went down to like 6, 7, maybe it could go with the AMX and the premium M51s, and it'd be a decent little tank. Maybe a little bit. Like I don't see why you'd use it over the Rochev. I'm guessing it has a better... The M107 isn't as good as the M403 or whatever that shell is. But I don't really know how you can justify making it an entire battle rating higher when I believe it has... This thing actually has better muzzle velocity, 684 compared to the 562 of the Sholef. So I've no idea what crack or what drug Gaijin has been smoking when it comes to the Sholef, but it's really not worth the battle rating of 7.7. I genuinely have no idea what Gaijin have been doing. Hopefully it's just not finished yet, but then why are they adding it into the game? It's also absolutely massive, as you can see. It does have pretty decent damage though, if you can hit the top part of a fighting compartment and basically blast down into the thin turret roof. As you can see, the reload is pretty bad, especially if we miss and have to wait another 12 seconds to reload. But the mobility is nothing special really. The McCarvers are abysmal in terms of mobility anyway, so it's not a really advantage having a MBT chassis at this battle rating. I just don't really see the point of this thing being added to the game really. It's a premium, I guess, so Gaijin are giving away a free mid-tier premium, which is always appreciated, but I guess you guys could counter me by saying, well, this isn't free because you have to pay at least 1,500 or something like that in order to get the actual battle pass itself. I just don't even really think it's worth 1,500, to be honest. You can get kills quite easily if you can manage to snipe like the gunner's ports or enemy tanks, but at 7.3 where you've got a surprisingly fast meta now, lots of tanks are going to be stabilized. I just don't understand how Gaijin can justify giving this a battle rating 7.3 when stuff like the M107s are probably just as capable at a much lower battle rating. I'm gonna give a coup de grace here, bust a cap in his crown to quote Kill Bill. As you can see, if you can actually hit the driver's port or basically any crewman's port, you can kill tanks pretty easily, but without a laser rangefinder or a coincidence rangefinder, it's going to be quite hard to hit enemies at a long distance. And because your armor scheme and ammunition layout is absolutely dog shit, you can't even use this as like a brawler. I have no idea why Gaijin describes this as a tank destroyer as well. I'm pretty sure they said in the advertisements for it. But it doesn't even have any armor-piercing rounds. But I think I've made my point. This thing is an absolute piece of garbage. So yeah, we're going to go and take a look at the other plane, the other vehicle that's getting added in this event, or Battle Pass, sorry, the PB5, whatever it's called. So this is the PBM-5A Mariner. I've seen on the forums that people are saying that this isn't modelled correctly either. I don't really know anything about this plane, I'll be honest with you. It is battle rating 3.7. The United States does have a pretty decent coastal lineup at that battle rating, but this is a very, very large plane, as you can see. It isn't going to be able to get in low and fast and basically shoot people that easily. It does have some pretty good defensive gunfire though, quite a lot of 50 cals. In terms of bomb loadout, we do have 8 of the magnetic mines, which is pretty good actually. Most vehicles have around 4 of them, stuff like, I can't remember what point it is, but 4 is usually. So you can carry 8 of them, which is going to be pretty spicy. It's got 508 kilos of TNT equivalent. So they are very, very good at basically blowing up vehicles if you can get close enough to drop them without being shot by those pesky little coastal boats. You do also have some 1,600 pound armor-piercing bombs, which are always appreciated, as well as the Mark 13-6 torpedo, which are absolutely abysmal. You can see that they have a drop speed of 205 kilometers per hour. So if you're going faster than that, you can't drop them. They will basically just destroy themselves on impact. And the drop altitude, again, is 105 meters, which is awful. The maximum speed in water of 55 kilometers per hour is, again, pretty awful. For comparison, let's look at the torpedoes found on stuff like the... Where is it? Not that one, the other F6. This thing. Wrong one. God damn it. Come on. Oh my god. How embarrassing. So the M13 Mark 6, you can see here that you can drop this torpedo at a speed of nearly 760 kilometers per hour at an altitude of over 700 meters. And it travels 74 kilometers per hour compared to the 55 of the other, whatever it's called. So this torpedo is basically on every single American naval aircraft capable of carrying it. So I have no idea why the PBM-4 is getting that shitty old torpedo. But as it stands, the new Battle Pass is basically getting slated by everyone, saying it isn't worth it. And I have to agree that both of these vehicles are absolutely dog shit. I mean, there's 2 premiums, which I guess is pretty decent. All of the random naval vehicles is a waste of time. Like, what if you already have them all? Like, what's the point? You probably get a small bit of Silver Lions to compensate. The other controversial type thing going on is the Albatross event. It's a ship that we already have in game, really, and it's like an event. It's not even for like a battleship or a blue water vehicle. It is a shitty little coastal vehicle. The Albatrosses aren't well regarded in War Thunder Naval. They're quite big. They don't really have the best firepower. They only have 2 3-inch guns, which overheat quite quickly and don't do the best amount of damage. They're also quite large. It's quite inefficient. I'll show you it in game right now. So I'll be honest with you, I don't have the Albatross. I cannot bring myself to play either the blue water or the coastal fleet for the Italians, as it's just dog shit. But as you can see, we've got 2 fairly fast firing 3-inch guns, one mounted at the stern and one at the bow. You will also have the torpedo type things. Well, not torpedo, sorry, the submarine killing, whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called. They're basically British invented them. They fire ahead of you. Pretty pointless. Well, they're absolutely useless pretty much in War Thunder, as there's no torpedoes and enemies aren't going to be dumb enough to just sit in front of you. You also have 2 Bofors L7 guns, or L70 guns, sorry. So I guess in real life these things, oh, they do have, no they don't. I guess they should have, the L7 Bofors gun basically could fire the proximity fused rounds. I guess Guardian didn't give it this. But anyway, it's quite a large vessel. It's very inefficient. It does have 117 crew members, which can keep you alive. It can take a little bit of damage, but it's a big, slow ship. It gets a thingy spawn as well. It gets a destroyer spawn, basically. As you can see here, the sub-chasers, basically anything that has the motor gunboat, the blue, the kind of cyan or light blue gets a sub-chase. It gets a coastal spawn, sorry. The dark blue and the gunboat, the orange, this gets basically a destroyer spawn. So you're going to be spawning in the same place as stuff like the Aviaries or some of the big destroyers like the Moffats. So you're basically going to get killed before you even get to the coastal or littoral areas. So yeah, boys, that's my little rant about the event and the new Battle Pass. It doesn't seem to be worth either, in my opinion, to be honest. So what are your thoughts? Are you going to be grinding out any of these vehicles? Are you going to be getting the premium ship? Or these people probably aren't going to, because a lot of people aren't particularly happy with this. As you can see, virtually no difference, maybe some cosmetics. So it's just copy and paste across the board, and no one's really happy. It's a little bit scummy in my opinion, especially as these aren't free, you are having to pay for them, especially the Battle Pass vehicles. So yeah, lads, let me know what you think. I'm going to go back to renovating my garden. I'm basically suffering as a British citizen. Thank you for watching, goodbye.